Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sharon Jackson. I'm a longtime student at Dawn Mountain. I'll be teaching our meditation this morning. I'm coming to you from Central Texas, just so you know. There's so many of us now that are all over the world. It's kind of nice to know where we're all joining from. So I'm from Weimar at this time in my life. And even though the locals call where I'm currently living the country. So I'm far out in the country. And yes, we did get some rain this morning. It's a little bit cooler. So it seems like a lovely morning to join together and practice. So we'll begin with our dedication, not our dedication, our prayers that sort of set the tone for our practice, that remind us that we're practicing for the benefit of all beings. So we'll start with our aspiration. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling to those near nor spurn those far. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. Sounds like a tall order. Resolve all beings' pain. But we do it step at a time, beginning with ourselves and learning to open our hearts so that we can be there for one another. And that's what we're going to do this morning. We're going to sit and allow our minds to settle. Just sit very naturally at ease, which will then allow our hearts to open, our love and wisdom to flow. And be happy. So it really is a joyous practice. All of our practice is. And that's one of the things that I love about our teacher, Adzam Rinpoche, who gave us the practice that we're doing this morning. You know, he always encouraged, pointed out that this isn't a solemn affair, what we're doing when we come together to meditate and to learn how to work with our emotions and our wisdom. It's actually a joyous occasion. It's a joyous undertaking. Even though it's full of challenge and can be very difficult, at the core, at the essence, it's our natural state, which is joy and love. So I think we can orient ourselves that way this morning. Just let our love and joy be present. So how do we do that? Well, we relax. How do we do that? We find a posture that's comfortable, but that has intention and strength. So we want our spine to be relatively straight, naturally straight, with the top of our head kind of stretching towards the ceiling, allowing our neck to become long. And then we slightly tuck our chin, and we can roll our shoulders back and down and let them really come down. That will help achieve that sense of ease. Relax your legs down. If you're on a chair, feet flat on the floor, not leaning back in the chair unless you need to. You want to try and get on your sits bones, and that's easier to do if you're not leaning back. And then you just allow your breath to become fulsome but natural. You can gaze down the bridge of your nose in an unfocused, just very easy gaze. Again, this is about simplicity, ease, relaxation, but with purpose and intention and alertness and aliveness. So we want our torso to be strong. It's sort of the power of the posture. And then everything else can relax. Your hands can be on your thighs, on your knees, whatever's comfortable. And let's make the intention that we will put our problems, our worries, our concerns aside for now. So whatever you're carrying, just put it down for now. We'll just be present with one another, with our attention resting gently on the breath. Allowing our thoughts to also settle, relax, dissipate, dissolve. We're not going to attend to them at this time. We notice what the breath feels like when it comes in. And when it leaves us on the exhale. Allowing the body to relax more and more. The mind and the heart in alignment, at ease. In harmony. And our belly, everything at ease, in alignment, in harmony. Body, speech, mind. How wonderful to be here resting in our true nature, fresh, at ease, nothing to do, uncontrived, relaxed, alert. And now we chant the sacred syllable home together, the syllable of primordial wisdom, our natural state, allowing ourselves to merge with the sound. And you may unmute so that we can chant together at your own pace. And now you can mute again. And we just rest in ease with our heart minds clear, awake, undistracted, and present. Attention resting on the breath, experiencing breathing, we allow the inhalation to refresh us and the exhalation brings relaxation. So we're refreshed and relaxed, enjoying breathing. unmute. You can remute. Returning our attention to the breath. Noticing our thoughts, but not following them. Like they tell children, you can think of your thoughts like a train going by, but you don't get on the train. As you're resting your attention on your breath. Allowing your heart to open, your mind to relax, your body to relax. breathing in harmony with your true nature, luminous emptiness. We're resting in an uncontrived state, letting things be. Release any tension in the body. Release any tension in your energy. And release any tension in your mind. Relaxed, at ease, resting with the breath. Letting your ego take a rest. Letting your persona take a rest. Remaining in your natural state. open, clear, loving, joyous. Let us unmute. We can mute once more. Mm. So I like to share a little bit when I lead and teach on these Sundays about how my practice, um, how I'm working with my practice in my life, in practical terms, because I find it helpful and beneficial to hear this from others. And I think that's part of what is the benefit of Sangha. Um, so there's two things that's kind of big for me at this moment that I'm really attempting to allow my practice to inform how I handle these things, um, or anchor how I handle these things, be present how I handle these things. So one thing is, so some of you know that one of my two dear dogs that I've had for 13 years passed away in November, and the other one passed away 2 weeks ago. And, they were together with us when we moved here to the country, 10 years ago. And they've just been with us for 13 years, part of our family. My husband and I don't have children. And so that was when Maddie died, the first one, it was so filled with grace um, and not a lot of suffering. So there was just so much to be grateful for. And it would just, I don't know, there was something about it that allowed me and my husband and my niece who is living with us to be able to accept it and to be with it in a way that was as much as you could ever hope for in terms of less suffering and heartache than I would have ever imagined could be possible. But then when Riley passed 2 weeks ago, it was like, whoa. And I'm not sure what the difference was because neither one of them really suffered at the end, thankfully. But maybe it was because he was the second one and the last one. I don't know, but it's been really hard. And I miss him so much. And like normally today, he would be right here with me. He always meditated with me and, was right with me. He was a border collie mix, so very, attached to his people. But anyway, so what I've been trying to do is just allow that, and not get stuck, allow the feelings to come and just to experience it in the moment, but not, kind of let it begin to spiral to where you're like, oh, I'm this is so sad, this is so awful, and I miss him, all the time, and just all the stories, but rather just sort of allow the feeling and the emotion of it to be present and then to just sort of dissipate, which it does, it's always kind of amazing how that happens in the midst of grief, that you can be so sad and then it just sort of dissipates and you can be joyous, you can be grateful. Gratitude is really, really helpful, I think, in allowing some of these more difficult emotions to move through. So that's something I've been working with and mostly thankful for practice. Also now when I'm doing prayers or just thinking about him, I try to get in touch with him, allow his presence to be here with me, present within me. And I can do that, at times. And so then it's sort of like a recognition of how time and space distance realms, are constructs, at least to some extent. And not that I understand these things exactly, but as far as experientially, it's really kind of exciting. So that's been happening for me, and I think it's a real great instance of appreciation for all the years of practice, because that's not an easy one to do. And the other thing is that's really big in my life right now that I couldn't do with any measure of grace or any measure of sanity if it weren't for practice. And that is that my 12-year-old niece, great niece, has been living with my husband and I for the last year. So we're raising her right now, parenting her. She's in 7th grade, just started 7th grade. And I got to tell you, this is a ride. And especially at 65 and never having had kids. So it's not only that I didn't raise her, we didn't raise her, we haven't raised children. We raised dogs. And it's real different. So it's unbelievable, the roller coaster, the ride of it. It has so much delight, sheer delight, and then sheer, you got to be kidding me. So, I mean, it's just like amazing, the shifts, and this can happen, like within a 10-minute span. So it's quite a journey and an undertaking. And obviously, my wish is to do it as well as possible, with as much kindness as possible. And that's what I tell my niece. I said, can we just be kind? We're going to work with one word, kindness. Let's both be kind. Because she's 12, but she might as well be 15. And, I just wasn't ready for prime time in terms of what, yeah. So anyone who's parented or been around kids, I mean, this isn't anything unique, but it's something new for me. And I rely on my practice continuously to try and be present, to be patient, to not overlay all of my habits, baggage, all the things that I would like to be rid of for me. I'm trying not to bring those into the equation. It's very, very hard, basically kind of impossible, but certainly, I can work with it and bring it down and bring it, So that is a huge undertaking for me right now. And my husband, who is not like me, he's very calm and centered naturally. I have to really work at it. And again, I just want to say that practice is the most precious thing in my life. And I'm very appreciative, not just for me, but for my husband and for my niece. If I didn't have my practice, things would be different. She'd probably be grounded half the time. And so I just want to share that. I know I'm kind of all over the map here, but it is a big thing. And it has been really, it's benefited amazingly by virtue of my practice, and meaning my practice of patience, of understanding, of love, of kindness, of space, making room for all of the stuff that arises to arise without, that being all of it, without that being the only place for me to be, space. So that's one of the reasons I worked with it during the practice this morning, because it's really so valuable to be able to rest and open and let the wisdom and the good qualities flow. So that's what I wanted to share this morning. So now we will, I hope I'm not running late. We'll do our dedication. So we'll start with our ahs, and then we'll do the blessing prayer and read the names, which I need to put a few names on there. I have them, I can paste from here. And if there are any of you now or later who haven't put names in here, but you would like to say them now or later when you watch, you may do that. So we're going to do the ah dedication that I personally love, where we do 3 ahs distinctly timed, not in unison and sort of flowing like the homes, but ah, ah, ah. And the first one, we allow ourselves to become white, light, energy, blessing, healing, loving, kind energy. And just, and so to get to our natural state with that first ah. The second ah, we send it to one another. So we're sending and we're receiving this love, this blessing energy, healing, comforting. And then the third ah, collectively, we're all going to send this out throughout the universe, throughout time, throughout space, to all beings, that they may be free of suffering and have happiness. So the first ah, we allow ourselves to become white, healing, loving energy. And please say your ah as long as it works for you, as long as it's coming. Mine tend to be short. We'll sit for just a minute. Second ah. And the third ah. And within that space, we'll say the blessing. I light the candle. With all of you in mind, we light
this lamp of clarity by the glow of love wisdom.
Shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. So we especially want to dedicate this morning to Darcy, Rebecca, Aaron, Becky and Carlos, Mark, Sharon F., Beth, Rick Wilson and Betty Anderson, Peter Jones, Bardo, Ingrid Bardo, Riley Bardo, Anna, Tim, Peggy, Jenny, and Jenny, Shonda Pettit and Family for Ease, Sylvia, Rolanda, Nathaniel, Emma, Edie, Leah, Sorry, I'm going to scroll through here. Oh, I guess I didn't send mine. Riley Bardo, Mrs. A, Hospice, Bonnie, Halo, Jennifer, Cheryl, Brenda, Mrs. Shingleton, Jay, Carl Bardo, and all beings throughout time and space. We'll do one more ah. Thank you all. Thank you. This is wonderful to be here. So announcements. I know we have our new Dharma Explorations Tuesday teachings starting the first Tuesday in September. And I know that Lama Namgyal and Lama Rixon and Nathaniel Rich and Renee Ford, Mark Urowitz, and Claire Villarreal will all be teaching during that series. So how wonderful is that? And it's going to be further exploration of the sutras. And Harvey may want to say more about this, but I liked what you wrote in the newsletter, Harvey, the little write-up you did on it. And I tried to touch on some of that this morning. I don't know what I did with it. Oh. Yeah, Buddhist practices gently move more and more deeply into the ocean of our being, an ocean of wisdom. And that's what I was just trying to describe a while ago. You know, if we do this, there's a point at which you do have this ocean, you know, the practices are part of your ocean. And then, you know, even in really challenging times, you can call on that. So that was very lovely. Prepare us to connect with wisdom. In Dzogchen, such preparation and the actual engagement with wisdom are intimately related. So the write-up on, I'm sure it's on the website that was in the newsletter about the series, explains it pretty beautifully. And again, Harvey, if you want to say more, you certainly may.
You did a great job. I'll let it be.
Okay. I just will say one more thing, though, for people who may not know, everyone in that group are not only amazing practitioners, but they're scholars, and they've, you know, Nathaniel particularly is working on this sutra translation project. And so what a gift to give the world, you know, all of these brilliant, beautiful minds sharing the Buddha's teachings and words. So awesome. What else might we need to mention, Harvey or Emily, about upcoming programs?
So we do have,
we need to talk about this morning. Sorry.
So we do have next Sunday at 1 p.m. will be our peer-led Yeshe Sogil practice for those of you who have that teaching. The following Saturday, September 3rd, Adzam Gyaltse Rinpoche will return to finish off his Life and Times of Adzam Drukpa series. If you attended either of those series with us, you are welcome to attend. The link to that is going out soon. And for those of you who haven't, it's not too late to register for those because they were all recorded and the recordings are available. Sunday, September 4th will be our first Sunday. We will have the first Sunday teachings with our lamas at 10:30 a.m. CST, followed by the Sunday meditation and Dharma conversation. The following Sunday is the Full Cycles peer support meeting for those of you who are in cycles. And then we have our big cycles retreat Avalokiteshvara Dzogchen Part 2 is at the end of September, September 30th through October 2nd. So,
Thank you. And I just want to welcome Scott and Sebastian. I know we've done so on the chat, but it seems that this is your first time, or at least your first time for this. So welcome, wonderful to have you. And yes, everyone is welcome. The temple and this program is open to everyone. And many of our programs are the Tuesday teachings that we were talking about, the Dharma, which we also call Dharma Explorations. So all of it's on the website. Emily will answer questions. So please feel welcome, know that you are, and we'll love to see you again in the future.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Aw,
And welcome
you
to
very much.
Sebastian too, and Scott.
Goodbye.
Thank
Did
for
you
you,
ask me a
Sharon.
question, Harvey?
Yes.
Did you ask me what did you say, Harvey? Sorry.
Say again.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
You wanted to ask a question? Go ahead.
No, I said, did you ask me a question?
No, I was welcome.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to practicing with you all another time.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Sharon.
Charlie,
Beautiful.
Nancy,
Thank you, Emily.
and anybody on YouTube.
Take care, everyone.
all right. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.